Check it out. This video is about Akaash Singh from the Flagrant YouTube channel attacking Fresh and Fit for no reason in this podcast episode featuring True Geordie. And it starts with this podcast clip.
Like the toxic feminist movement and the toxic masculine movement, they're coming to sort of clash, and there's these whole bunch of lost people in the middle looking for answers and kind of drifting towards.
And I feel bad for them. I have empathy for them, even though they'll send me the hate comments and whatever. I get you are a person that is wounded and needs guidance. You're just going to the wrong guy. I have an issue with the false prophets of this movement. Like, dude, we tell guys to get in the gym. We tell them to get their money right. You know, you could stop after that. You could be like, yo, get in the gym, get your money right, go to therapy, get your mentals right, find the right girl, blah, blah, blah. You'll have a truly happy, fulfilled life. And I'm not saying I got it all figured out. I don't. I could fuck up just as easily as anybody else. But I also would never pretend I have all the answers and charge you Patreon to give you all the answers. You could give it for free.
When I see these extreme sort of views.
Or, as Akaash says, you could give it away for free. Come on, Akaash, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just basically trying to justify your hatred of Fresh and Fit. So you give random reasons. Come on. Isn't your own channel, right? The Flagrant YouTube channel. You have the free content, but then you also have Patreon content, paid content in the Flagrant Patreon. And if you look at the Flagrant Patreon, right, they're definitely making something, right? At least, what, $70,000 a month? Because think about it. Based on your logic, Akaash, right, this guy, why don't you just stop to just do the Flagrant YouTube episodes and stop there, right? There's the thing. Unlike you, Akaash, Andrew understands this whole operation costs money, right? This guy is probably paid some type of salary or some type of fee. Same thing with this guy. So, of course, the studio that Flagrant has, the editing costs, right? The production costs, that costs money. So they need to recoup it. They need to make it back at something that's more predictable, like this monthly thing, right? I understand that Flagrant, they may have something called AdSense, right? The more you watch it, the more ads pop up, the more it makes money. But the problem is that it's such an unstable source of income. So they got that Patreon to have some stability to pay the bills. So, Akaash, you're just trying to say you hate Fresh and Fit, so you're coming up with random reasons that you even know does not make any sense. Come on, Akaash. Plus, isn't Akaash the same guy who had a stand-up special called Bring Back Apu? Come on, Akaash, imagine your uncle was Apu, right? He owns a convenience store, and you worked at the convenience store, and you told your uncle Apu, hey, those snacks you have in the aisle, why don't you just give it away for free? You say that type of thing to your uncle Apu, he's going to smack you around because he knows these snacks cost money. And he has in the aisles because he hopes that when people come to the convenience store, they pay money for those snacks because they need to make money from the convenience store sales. They can't just give away stuff. So obviously, Akaash, you don't know what you're talking about, right? You just don't like Fresh and Fit. Simple as that. And it seems that Akaash doesn't really understand that Fresh and Fit costs money. So if people are willing to pay Fresh and Fit for something, why not Fresh and Fit provide that paid service, whether it's through their local subscription, the super chat money, right? Because Fresh and Fit, just like Flagrant, they got expenses to take care of, bills to pay in order to run the operation, people they hire, things that they got to spend money in order to make the podcast better and better, right? Just like you want Flagrant to get better, that may cost money. And it's also funny how the fact that, yes, Flagrant has free content. You can watch the YouTube channel for free. They also have paid content, right, via the Patreon paywall. So both Fresh and Fit and Flagrant have free and paid content. So it's kind of weird that, I mean, come on, it's capitalism. If people want to pay money for the service, someone's going to provide that service in exchange for money. Like, come on, Akaash, don't you do stand-up comedy? Do people attend your shows for free? No, they got to pay tickets. They got to pay an entry fee to get in to watch your show. So you're able to keep doing your stand-up thing and other people can support you, right? It's a two-way street. So Akaash, you coming out to podcasts, stop acting like you run Flagrant because everybody knows. Flagrant is Andrew Schultz's show and Akaash, you're simply a background character.
Yeah. My brother
had the fresh and fit boy come at him, Myron. So there was a little clip from your podcast. Sort of been clipped up, put on Twitter, where they're talking to
Academics, DJ Academics, who's a friend of ours. So funny, so talented. Love that guy.
I've been watching his hip hop videos for years. And he was sort of sticking up for the boys on Fresh and Fit, saying, are they giving you a hard time? And Andrew Schultz asking, like, what's going on? And then Myron sort of clapped back after that has gone up, saying Schultz and Akaash are some of the biggest snakes on YouTube. Fuck them and their whole team. And Andrew obviously then goes after him, saying he's a grifter, yada, yada, yada. He has his response saying how he saved people from suicide and helped people.
Oh, God.
So what's your take on this as it's happening?
He is constantly looking for income. How can I galvanize these people who are kind of lost and I can use them to give me money? He doesn't care that he helped. It's a nice bonus to him, I'm sure, that he helped people not commit suicide. But to him, it's really, I can take broken people and I can make money off of them.
I'm wondering how you quantify that. Like, how do you, at what point is he going, and another one? And another, like,
every patron or every whatever is just another one. He doesn't, and then I'm sure he gets messages, you saved my life, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't, what he will refuse to accept in his own soul is the help you give these guys has a pretty low ceiling on it. You could lift them from the bottom, but there's a pretty low ceiling of happiness when your mentality is, women are beneath me, I need to have sex with as many of them as possible, and oh, by the way, work out every once in a while. Like that.
Seems like Akaash's real beef with Myron is he doesn't like the fact that Myron is a 50% owner in Fresh and Fit, and Fresh Prince CEO, the other co-host, is another 50% owner. In fact, I'm willing to bet that Akaash has 0% in that Flagrant podcast. In fact, if he did have a percentage, it's probably a toy percentage, a very low percentage. In fact, speaking of toys, right? In that Alex Jones episode on Flagrant, Akaash was treated like a toy, a piece of thing that, you just throw away after you're done with, right? In that episode, Alex Jones preyed on Akaash, treating him like a toy because he knew Akaash was a toy. You didn't see Alex Jones try to do that with Andrew because he understands Andrew is the true runner of the show, Flagrant. Akaash, he's just an extra. I guarantee you, if they killed off Akaash, not literally, but figuratively, right? They just removed him on the show. It's still going to have legs running, right? It's like the Joe Budden podcast. Joe Budden can stand on his own. Rory and Mal, they're not able to achieve the success by themselves when it's compared to like a Joe Budden. Joe Budden is Andrew Schultz. Akaash, he's just an extra. Plus, the statement Akaash makes, Myron simply profits off broken people, is a little too simple. It's like saying doctors, right? They make their biggest profits from people with the biggest problems, right? If you have a very big health problem, that may require a bigger paycheck, right? A bigger dollar amount in order to solve such problems. Like, if you look at the podcast Akaash's, right? He's part of that Flagrant YouTube channel. You can't just say, oh, Flagrant, they profit off miserable people. Well, you can't just say that because there is a percentage of people who live horrible lives. They hate their jobs. They don't like their day-to-day. So they watch Flagrant to kind of escape from all that and have this one piece of happiness and entertainment versus the rest of their day, right? But then you got a percentage of people who are not miserable. They live normal lives and they're just looking for a source of entertainment, right? They got extra time on their hands and they want to use that time to get entertained, like watching a Flagrant. So you can't just say, oh, Flagrant, they only profit off of miserable people. Maybe they profit off from different types of people, but all contribute toward the success of Flagrant. And now, using the same comparison to Fresh and Fit, you get multiple types of people watching Fresh and Fit, right? There may be some people who watch Fresh and Fit, pay Fresh and Fit to solve a problem they have. But then you also got a lot of other people who simply watch Fresh and Fit for entertainment, right? They got time on their hands. They're trying to pass the time. Okay, Fresh and Fit's a good piece of entertainment. Whether you're driving a long drive, you might put the podcast in the background. Maybe you're doing some type of work. You put the podcast in the background. Maybe, you're at nighttime. You got nothing else to do. You may just watch it in the background. So you got both types of people, multiple types of people trying to watch Fresh and Fit for different reasons, just like you may have different types of people who watch Flagrant for different reasons. So you can't just, Akaash, paint a simple brush and say, all right, that's it, right? It just shows your hatred of Fresh and Fit. You're using random reasons to justify your hatred.
This all kind of stems from my knowledge. Anyway, I can't claim to have watched a lot of these guys. I really haven't. But what I have seen is Kevin Samuels. Do you know this?
Yeah, he was funny also. If you're funny, I'll give you forgiveness. Andrew Tate is so funny, and he packages things so uniquely. I cannot hate this man, no matter how much you try to make me.
Look at the case files. No. But with Kevin Samuels, for example, he was trying, for me anyway, from when I watched him, as well as being funny, to actually help people in a certain way. It wasn't just... He wasn't just trying to make women look stupid to make himself look better to then say, oh, look, I've got the answers to everything. It was actually like, he was having like long form conversations with a lot of these women going, look, this is where you're going wrong. And this is what you, and ultimately a lot of it boiled down to where you see yourselves in the dating marketplace is not actually where you're actually going to find your soulmate. You're going to find them somewhere in an accurate place where your income and your looks and da-da-da-da-da all align. And a lot of them just had inflated egos.
Right. With every movement like that, there's going to be grifters and people who see opportunity who don't have the charisma or the intelligence of Kevin Samuels. Was intelligent, charismatic, funny, and there's going to be people who are less talented than them who just take their reviews and break them down in a dumber way just so they can make some money.
Just so they can make some money. I mean, just like you, Akaash, you stay on Flagrant not as an equal partner, but as an extra, just so you can make some money, right? I guarantee you, Akaash, you're a stand-up comedian, but let's be honest. You're no Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz is the one selling Madison Square Garden and big arenas. Akaash, you're not really selling out like an Andrew Schultz. I guarantee you Andrew Schultz on average has higher ticket sales than an Akaash. Because come on average, I'm willing to bet Akaash probably makes more money from his appearances on Flagrant, right? The various episodes than he does in his total stand-up career, right? He makes more money off appearing on Flagrant than doing his stand-up bits. Like, I believe Akaash is married, and he's probably using his wife's health insurance in order to cover Akaash's health, right? Let's be honest. Flagrant is probably not offering 401ks, retirement plans, health insurance to people working at Flagrant, right? So because you are able to pursue your dream or do what you want, which is, I guess, stand-up comedy, appearing on Flagrant, yet at the same time, you're working off the back from your own wife, who probably has, as mentioned before, a more stable income, health insurance. So don't act like you're some kind of a big baller, Akaash, right? You going on a podcast like with True Jordy, saying how you really feel. Come on, I think you're stepping a little bit out of line, Akaash, right? So you only can act like a big baller if you actually really are a big baller, because everybody knows you're just a small extra in the Andrew Schultz Flagrant show. If they remove you figuratively from this show, one day they complain. A week after, no one's gonna care. Akaash, you can't stand on your own. The only way you can stand is if you are attached to a superstar like an Andrew Schultz, and you know it too. So don't act like a big baller if you are not a big baller, Akaash. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.